Howdy folks, this is my second 300,000 subscriber giveaway video, and this time it's courtesy of those guys over at Edgecase Games, the developers of Strike Suit Zero and now Fractured Space. This is their brand new space battle game, which has just gone on to Steam Early Access. I have been talking about this game in previous episodes of Mingles with Jingles, and I've also put a video up where I was actually at the game developer studio at Guildford here in the UK, and filming them as they were playtesting the game and putting the final bits of polish on it just before it went into early access. If you were to buy into early access for Fractured Space on Steam, it would cost you £6.99, or there's also a fleet pack which includes 4 gift keys that you can give away to your friends for £14.99, but 100 of you aren't going to have to pay a penny because Edgecase Games have given me 100 gift codes to give away to you guys. On release, the game is going to be free to play. It's going to be supported by microtransactions. So what exactly are you going to get for taking part in early access? And assuming you don't win one of the gift codes for paying the £6.99 that it costs to get in at this stage, well, they haven't actually decided yet. However, they're inviting suggestions from the players. So if you do get into the game on early access, then feel free to go over to the forums and make your suggestions as to what the game founders should get for supporting the game at this early stage of development. So, what you want to know at this stage, of course, is how can you get your hands on one of these free gift codes for Steam? Well, if you haven't already noticed, they're all just listed in the video description. Simple as that. First come, first served. If you try to activate a code and it doesn't work, it just means somebody got it before you. Try your luck with another code. I was considering running it using a sort of lottery system, in the same way that I did the first 300,000 subscriber giveaway with the Amazon gift vouchers, but there were only 10 Amazon gift vouchers, and there are 100 of these gift codes for Fractured Space, and I really didn't fancy the idea of sitting down, going through the list of 100 winners and individually emailing each and every one of you a unique code, because, well, basically, I'm really lazy. So, good luck, and sorry, but just dive into the list, pick a code at random, input it into Steam, cross your fingers, and you never know, you could be one of the 100 lucky winners. Just think of it as an adventure. Anyway, the game itself. It is early access. This is alpha gameplay. It is unfinished. It is not optimized. There are bugs, although I haven't actually run into any bugs yet, but there are going to be bugs out there. And it's not always completely clear what you should be doing. There are no tutorials in the game yet, other than a brief written description in the hangar at the beginning. And I'm certainly not an expert at playing this game yet, so this isn't really a comprehensive game guide, but from my experience of playing the game through the alpha play testing and now in early access, I'm going to attempt to talk you through what I've discovered about the major points that you need to know when you're playing Fractured Space. First of all, let's just pop back to the hangar and have a look at the various ships that are available at this stage. The frigate. This is sort of the light tank of Fractured Space. It's the smallest, the fastest, and the most manoeuvrable. It's very good at closing the distance, getting into hit and run range, dropping a spread of proximity mines, weathering any return damage with a limited use shield generator, and then getting the hell out of there while the enemy team are still struggling to bring their guns around to bear on you. It can also fire off a detector drone to reveal the location of any of these sneaky little buggers, the assassins. This is the game's stealth ship. It has the ability to cloak, allowing it to get close, then decloak, deliver its damage, drop a decoy drone to fool the enemy into shooting at the wrong target while it makes its escape. The sniper, deadly at long range, hopeless at close range, and only really capable of delivering that massive firepower from its 2 huge cannons at long range while in sniper view, which severely restricts the pilot's range of vision and makes it very vulnerable to being flanked. The flagship, biggest, slowest and toughest ship in the game, able to withstand a fantastic amount of damage and very, very dangerous at close range, providing it can bring its guns to bear on you with its short-range flak batteries. The Disruptor, utility and support ship, limited firepower, second only to the frigate in speed and manoeuvrability, and equipped with repair drones and a short-range jump to ally ability that allows it to close the distance quickly, bringing aid and support to ships under fire. Flagships backed up by 1 or 2 disruptors are very, very difficult to kill. Just like in World of Warcraft, you kill the healer first. Finally, we have the Hunter. Very, very dangerous at close range, and like the Disruptor, equipped with a blink drive, but in this case allows it to get close to enemy ships in order to bring its devastating array of close range weapons to bear. these are the ships that are in the game at the moment. Now, there are 3 different factions. You've got Dominion Dynamics, none of whose ships are in the game yet. Then Zarek Industrial, we have 2 of their ships, the Hunter and the Frigate. If you were to mouse over, for example, a ship that you don't have selected, it will show you a comparison of how the stats stack up against the ship that you do have selected here in the dry dock. And of course, United Space Research, 4 of whose ships are in the game. So all of the basic ship classes are in the game and available for play, even if not all of the factions have their own versions of those basic ship classes. But the classes are there, and it doesn't really matter at this early access stage whether you're flying for United Space Research or Zarek Industrial. The teams are mixed. The sides don't depend on which faction you've chosen. As for the gameplay, well, here I am in the frigate. You can see a visual representation on the rear of my ship there to indicate where my armour has been hit and where I am vulnerable to taking damage from. And I'm using the speed of this thing to close the distance and try to get some close range fire off against this guy before he jumps out. I'll pop off a detector drone. There was an enemy assassin in the area. He could be cloaked. We don't know if he's jumped out or not. We've got a sniper putting some devastating long range fire into this guy. I get close enough to start doing some damage. He's trying to jump out. Too little, too late. The sniper took him out. From here I'm in a position to jump to the enemy base and start trying to capture. So I fire up the jump drive, select my destination. Takes a couple of seconds to charge up. There we go. And bang, there's the enemy base. And it's being defended by a flagship, and this is not ideal. I'm really not that good against flagships. I can't really afford to get close to him, and he's managed to scramble my engines, which has negated one of my biggest advantages. He's trying to get close to bring those flak batteries to bear. He's launched fighter drones at me, and I am taking some damage here. But I get my engines back up, can get back up to full speed and just keep the distance. Now I've got to stay out of range of his flak batteries. Try to get away from those fighter drones. Now backup has just jumped in, but he is not alone here anymore either. And I'm taking shots from a sniper, and this is an ideal situation for a sniper. The frigate does not have a lot of health, and the sniper does a lot of damage. I've got to try to get the hell out of here. You notice my sensors are also being jammed. So I'm opening the distance, trying to figure out how we're going to deal with this. It's a nasty combination, a sniper backing up a flagship and an assassin just decloaked. Oh, that is not good. There's now 3 of them against 2 of us. I really need to get close in order to do damage. The assassin's cloaked again. I pop off some missiles and I fire off a detector drone to try to reveal the location of the assassin and drop some proximity mines in case he's closing in on me. And now while the flagship is occupied and we've got another sniper just jumped in on our side, and you can see that the closer I'm getting, the more damage my guns are able to do to the flagship, doing a lot more damage there. Trying to stay mobile, stay out of the range of his flak batteries, fire off the missiles, keep laying those proximity mines to try to mess up the assassin who is lurking around here somewhere. That flagship has gone, we've got him, good, and now I'm going to try to close the distance on the sniper and pop my shield just in time. Very limited use, but it's managed to absorb 1, 2 shots from the sniper, get my missiles away, try to get around him. He is hopeless at close range, but he does have 1 last-ditch defense ability, a missile barrage of his own. Oh well. Well, I tried. We have a bit more success against the sniper in the next engagement. 2 flagships here opening up their flak batteries on each other at point-blank range. And that sniper, well, he's managed to get his missiles away, but I take the damage, and at this sort of range the sniper's guns are almost useless, and I am able to start doing a lot of damage to him. His armour's now gone on this side, so my guns are doing a hell of a lot more damage, and he's realised that he's never going to win this. He's trying to jump out, the flagship's opening up on him, but nope, he does manage to get away. And that assassin over there just ran out of friends, and he's probably praying that his cloak comes off cooldown, and nope, too slow. So we've retained control of this sector, which is nice. The frigate's the kind of ship that really excels at closing in and finishing off wounded targets, like the flagship, especially when the flagship's flak batteries are occupied with another target, and the flagship's armour has already been battered down by your teammates. I'm doing monstrous amounts of damage here, and able to close the distance and get in to take advantage of wounded targets very, very quickly with the speed of this tiny little ship. As far as the basic tactics of the gameplay are concerned, If you have a look down at the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll see that the game is divided into 5 sectors, accessible by using your jump drive. So your team starts off in the bottom of the map in Sector A, the enemy team is always in Sector E at the top of the map. Now, you can't just base rush and win right at the start of the game. The enemy base is very, very tough. When you're in the capture zone of the enemy base, it is constantly doing damage to any enemy ships. You cannot survive that until your ships have been upgraded. So the initial phases of the game involve fighting in the sectors on the left and right side of the map for control of the mining stations. Once you control these mining stations, the resources start coming in, and once your team crosses a certain resource threshold, upgrades become available for your ships back at your home base. And you have to return to your home base in order to take advantage of those upgrades. This removes the, well, hilarious situation where you've got an enemy flagship on the ropes, you're about to finish him off, then suddenly his team crosses the resource threshold and ding, his ship gets upgraded in the middle of a fight. And yes, that was just as hilarious as it sounds during the alpha playtesting when we had a ship on the ropes, we're about to kill him, and then suddenly ding, he upgrades and he's at full health and armour again. Well, it was funny for him. Not so funny for us. And of course, it also introduces an element of tactical decision making into the game, because you could be fighting for control of a sector when your ship's crew reports that upgrades are available at your home base. You have to then make the decision: are you going to continue the fight, or are you going to concede control of the sector to the enemy, return to base, get your ship upgraded and come back? So, there are no early base rushes, but what if the game is dragging on for too long? Well, the central sector, Charlie sector there in the middle of the map, has a massive gas mining facility, which only becomes available for capture after 10 minutes of the game have elapsed. But before we get into that, just showing you what the disruptor can do. We've got an assassin over there who's under heavy fire. He isn't able to cloak, it's on cooldown. So I am going to blink to an ally using the disruptor's jump ability. Get him targeted, there we go. He's about to go down, get close and launch my repair drones. And he was about to go down, and we've just saved his ass. There's a lot of enemy ships here. That hunter over there, however, is the major threat. If that thing gets close, it doesn't matter how much I'm repairing the assassin, it's going to take him down. So one of the other abilities that the disruptor has is the ability to take enemy weapons offline. And there we go. So he's now up shit creek without a paddle. His guns are gone. He can't shoot at anything. He's got to break contact. And hunters at long range are no threat to anybody. Taking some fire there. Our flagship's trying to hit the hunter with his flat cannons, but the hunter's well outside of the flat cannon range. Get those repair drones away on the flagship this time. Enemy ships closing in all around. That hunter's managed to blink close, and there's another flagship coming in from behind. He's been slowed. His engines have been disrupted, probably by our flagship. Let's see what I can do to scramble him. As you can see, the disruptor does not do an awful lot of damage. But that flagship has had his armour stripped away on this side, so I am doing some damage at least. Got to keep these repair drones going. Are we going to get him? I think we're going to get him. Yeah, we got him. And that hunter's still circling in, trying to get close. It's trying to get his weapons offline again. Do what I can for my team. Keeping some harassing fire going. Oh, no, that's not good. They've taken out the assassin. I've just run out of friends here. I need to get the hell out of here. I'm going to jump out. And as I'm jumping clear, it brings us neatly onto what I was talking about before we just got involved in that battle for control of that sector. The central sector here, Charlie sector, only becomes available for capture after 10 minutes of the game have elapsed. So if the game's dragging on and no one side's really dominating over the other, after 10 minutes you can capture this central sector and take control of this huge gas mining facility, which provides a massive boost to the amount of resources that your team's accumulating, allowing you to get your ships upgraded faster and take the fight to the enemy base. So that's Fractured Space, or at least a taste of Fractured Space. I've barely scratched the surface. I've only shown you 2 of the ships. I haven't shown you the flagship, I haven't shown you the hunter, I haven't shown you the assassin, and so on and so on. Fractured Space, new game from Edge Case Games, formerly known as Born Ready Games, the guys who developed Strike Suit Zero. So if you like what you've seen, then you can have a go for free. You don't even have to pay the paltry £6.99 that it costs to get into early access of this game. Edge Case Games have given me 100 Steam gift codes, so you can get into early access. The game is available right now, and start playing. Remember, the gift codes in the video description, they're first come, first served. If you try to input a code into Steam and it says code not accepted, then somebody else has already taken that code. Then just pick another code, try again. Although, to be completely honest, if you waited until this stage of the video before trying to grab one of the codes, you're probably already too late. So, congratulations to whoever of you managed to get their hands on one of the 100 codes. This has been Fractured Space from Edge Case Games. I have been the mighty Jingles. Take care out there, and I'll catch you next time.